Good afternoon, Deputy Lord Lieutenant and distinguished guests, fellow councillors and guests. Welcome to the annual meeting of Monmouthshire County Council. Please be seated. Afternoon all, and before we start, can I just remind you all please to have your phones on silent or off, and to remind those councillors who will be voting during this meeting that they should be logged into the Teams meeting in the way that we have at the last full council. So logged into the Teams meeting, and we'll go from there. Thank you. Do I have any apologies for absence? Any declarations of interests? Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the, disappearing. The next item on the agenda is the election of a new chair of council for the civic year 2025 to 2026. Before I call for nominations, I wish to address the council. Colleagues, well, that was a year that flew by. What an adventure it has been, challenging at times, but above all, rewarding, inspiring, and filled with moments I will carry with me always. If this address was a video, the soundtrack would include Gwent Music's wonderful performances, Caldicot male voice choir in full pelt, and people singing in churches. As an incomer, I am forever struck by how any congregation in Wales, be it a school hall, a football stadium, or even a church, sings their heart out. It's glorious. Over the last year, there have been moments of solemnity and reflection, including Holocaust Memorial Day and the recent VE Day services, where it was my honour to present this county. There were occasions of warm hospitality, not least the annual iftar in County Hall during Ramadan, and the joyful near anarchy of primary school Christmas carol services, which are just a joy. Seriously though, young people today, eh? Perhaps the most inspiring part of this role has been witnessing the passion and determination of Monmouthshire's young people. We have incredible volunteers, campaigners and advocates among them, working tirelessly for causes that matter, from volunteering in the communities, fighting for deforestation-free school meals and protecting the environment. They are shaping the future in ways that make me so hopeful. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the next generation will not wait for change, they will make it happen. I want to thank people and will inevitably leave people out because I have so many people to be grateful for, so I hope they forgive me. Thank you to the Reverend Sally, my chaplain for the year, who brought her still small voice of calm to the moments before council meetings and at the times in between. Thank you to my consorts. Roger Harris has been my consort for 2 years now, but he's been heading up a small team, to whom thanks for the support and the fun. Rowan Jackson is busy sitting his A-levels, so can't be with us, but I'm sure we wish him every success. My thanks also go to dog whisperer Claire Howells and to Community Councillor Catherine Vaughan for their support as consort, and for Catherine, who's also works very hard in my ward. I'd like to invite both Catherine and Claire to come up, please. Thank you. Thank you, Claire.
Cheers, bro. You couldn't see it. Thank you so much.
I want to express my heartfelt thanks to Linda and Julia, who have kept me organised, ensuring my diary made sense and made sure events ran smoothly. Without their patience and dedication, I'd have been turning up to appointments at the wrong time and in the wrong county. Your hard work behind the scenes has been invaluable, and I'm truly grateful. Linda Greer, retires next month, and this is her last AGM and council meeting. She's the embodiment of professionalism, courtesy, charm, and ruthless efficiency. Linda has supported leaders for some time and chairs for some time now, but I couldn't be more grateful to her for her support. I have to thank Monlife for the joyous moment when I learnt and was taught how to start a fire by rubbing two sticks together. My inner child had a day of its life, and my bucket list item was ticked. What an inspiration and fun and learning Monlife bring to our communities. Monmouthshire has revealed itself to me as something truly special. It is more than its rolling hills and historic landmarks. It's a community bound by goodwill, common purpose, music, art, sport, and care for one another. It is a place of determination, of warmth, enterprise, and of people who look out for each other. Serving as chair has been an absolute privilege. And while I may be stepping back from the role, I will never step away from supporting this incredible county. Thank you for your trust, your support, and for making the experience one I will always treasure. To Monmouth, to Monmouthshire, its people, its places, and its bright future, diolch o galon. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Councillor Brocklesby.
I'll put it back on. You couldn't have put it more beautifully, Chair, for the reasons why every single member in this chamber loves and really holds to their heart the privilege of serving Monmouthshire. And you have been a fabulous champion for our county. More than that, you are faced with 46 self-opinionated, largely obstreperous councillors, and you manage to keep us all of us, even me, in our place, standing when we should do, talking when we should do, staying on purpose, and in my case, always trying to put the microphone on. And that is an incredible skill. You did it well, you did it with grace, and you did it in a way that nobody saw your feet moving really fast under the table to keep yourself afloat. And that has to be a real sign of a good chair. On behalf of the council, I thank you for that. And I thank you also for every time you stepped out with the chains on and represented us as we are, a body that is dedicated to doing our best for the people of Monmouthshire. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor.
Well, Chair, you have done a fantastic job over the last year, and it has been a privilege to work with you. I think you're absolutely right. It's flown by, but I'm really pleased to hear that you've enjoyed both the challenges but also the pleasures that the role has brought you. And I'm really grateful to all those who've supported you over the last year, Catherine and Sue, and also Roger. Of course, for those who were elected pre-2022, Roger's a familiar welcome face. I remember working really closely with Roger when he was on the 21st Century Schools Project Board. So, Roger, it's really great to see you back here today, and thank you for the support you've given Sue over the last year. But Chair, it was lovely to hear of the the pleasure you've had from all the different events you've been to, whether it's coffee mornings, church services, charity events, male voice choirs and everything else. And I think that point that you just summed up really succinctly, that Monmouthshire is so much more than our beautiful countryside. It's the people. And I'm sure there's not a part of Monmouthshire that you haven't visited over the past year. But on behalf of the Conservative Group, we're really grateful to you for what you've done. You've set the bar high for your successor. And I also think it's worth noting, as the first council in Wales ever to have a female majority, we've had another impressive female chair, and I think that should be noted as well. You are a role model for younger people in politics, and I think you've fulfilled the role very well, and I hope you feel proud that you have done the job well, because we certainly feel that way. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, and I can only concur with the comments my colleagues have made. But I also understand, in addition to a long history in active campaigning, lobbying, and chairing various other organisations, and we obviously had great expectations given your experience, which were, I'm glad to say, met. That I also understand that you're a keen amateur cartoonist, and it has occurred to me whether you've ever thought to use the council as subject matter. Maybe you can answer that outside of this forum, Chair. But thank you again, Councillor McConnell. It's very much flown, but yeah, I'm sure along with my colleagues we'd very much like to thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add my thanks to you for all the work you've done. And I think, that those two halves of that role, I think in the chamber here, you've been firm, you've been decisive, but you've been fair, and you've slapped us down when we've needed to. And I think that probably that years of experience as a probation officer have probably really helped in sort of dealing with offenders. I mean, we were worried about the level of recidivism that might occur once you've gone, but we will see what your successor can do with a different style of authority, perhaps. But we'll find out on that. But I think you've been managing the debate in this chamber really well. And of course, as people have said outside, your natural warmth and friendliness and natural enthusiasm, I think, have been really good in how you've engaged with our public, with our residents, with other businesses and others around the county. And I think you've been a great ambassador for this council and for this county. So thank you very much for that. And good luck with the next stage and all that free time and less weight on your shoulders and how you're going to deal with that. So thanks.
Thank you for all your kind words. I now call for nominations for the office of Chair for the County Council for the civic year 2025 to 2026.
I'd like to nominate Councillor Peter Strong.
And do I have a seconder?
I'll second that nomination.
Thank you, Councillor. At which point, there being no...
Chair, I would like to nominate County Councillor Anne Webb, please.
And do we have any other
And I second
seconder?
that nomination, Chair.
Thank you. Any other nominations?
Point of order, please, Chair. Under Standing Order 27.27.4, I'd like to request a recorded vote.
Thank you. 1 second, please. So we've just been checking the constitution. I propose to offer each of the proposers the opportunity to speak to their proposition for 5 minutes. Councillor Brocklesby.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to propose Councillor Strong as Chair for a number of reasons. Councillor Strong, as everyone knows, joined the Council in 2022, along with a significant number of the rest of us. He has shown since then to be a dedicated ward councillor, always fighting for the citizens and the place of Roggett. He has played an extremely active part in council life, both on scrutiny committee and more recently as armed forces champion. And I think we all have appreciated the dedication that Councillor Strong has given to ensuring, we hope, and I am certain, that our year and our day of Armed Forces Day in Caldecott will be the absolute success that Monmouthshire expects us to do. And he has shown, as Deputy Chair, to be someone who not only represents us as a council and all that we stand for, our values, but as someone who's inclusive, reaches out and ensures some of our citizens who might not necessarily attend events or feel that they are part of our communities are seen and heard. And for that reason, I believe he will be an excellent chair of our council. Thank you very much, councillors.
5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Chair. Well, it's a privilege to stand here nominating our friend County Councillor Anne Webb, who has been an outstanding councillor for over 20 years. Anne was first elected to Monmouthshire County Council in 2004 and has represented the St Arvan's ward diligently in all that time. Anne is the mother of our council. She is the longest serving female member and is a fantastic role model for younger members. She plays the role of mother, not just in the council, but in our group. And she's someone that we look up to for advice and support. She has represented her ward with diligence over the last 20 years, and we have enormous pride in putting her forward for this role. Anne has served on 2 occasions as Vice Chair to Matt Feekins when he was Chair of the Council, and also to Laura Wright when she was Chair. Anne played that supportive role in a fantastic way, and we were proud of the ambassadorial role she performed for this authority. So she has had the best grounding of any candidate for chair, and I have no hesitation in recommending to colleagues that we elect Anne Webb as chair of this council for the forthcoming year. Thank you.
Thank you. So we will now proceed to the vote. Councillor John, you asked for a recorded vote. Do you have 9? Unsurprisingly, you do. Thank you. So that will be a recorded vote. Thank you, Nicola.
Okay, thanks, Chair. So if I go through the list and just tell me either Councillor Webb or Councillor Strong. First of all, Councillor Bond.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Brocklesby.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Bromfield.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Brown.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Bryn.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Buckler.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Birch.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Butler. Sorry,
Okay. Councillor Webb.
Councillor Callard.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Chandler.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Crook.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Davis.
Webb.
Councillor Dimmock.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Eason.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Edwards.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Newell.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Garrett.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Garrick.
Strong.
Councillor Griffiths.
Strong.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Howarth.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Howells.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor John.
Councillor Anne Webb.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Anne Webb.
Councillor Penny Jones.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Keir.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Lane.
Councillor Anne Webb.
Councillor Lucas.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Maybe.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor McConnell.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor McKenna.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Murphy.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Neal.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Pavia.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Powell.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Riley.
Strong.
Councillor Rook.
Strong.
Councillor Sandals.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Stevens.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Jackie Strong.
Councillor Peter Strong.
Councillor Peter Strong.
Councillor Peter Strong.
Councillor Taylor.
Councillor Anne Webb.
Councillor Thomas.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Watts.
Councillor Strong.
Councillor Anne Webb.
Anne Webb.
Councillor Wright.
Pete Strong.
Thank you.
Point of order, Chair.
Sorry?
Understanding order point 27.10.1, can I check that you're content that all members for the duration of this item were visible either in the chamber or on screen, please?
Yes, I am. I could see there was somebody flickering, but I think moving their I have kept an eye on that, and I'm alerted when that happens. Thank you. So the votes cast are 23 to 23, which leaves me to cast my casting vote in favour of Councillor Strong. Thank you. I now invite County Councillor Peter Strong to read and sign the Declaration of Acceptance of Office.
I, Peter Strong, having been elected to the office of Chair of Monmouthshire County Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code for the time being as to the conduct which is expected of members of Monmouthshire County Council and to which may be revised from time to time. Thank you, Linda.
Pete's bringing anything on to sign.
Sign it. Yep. Just there.
Okay, I'm going to come out by here until we change over.
Yep.
Motions?
Okay, thank you. Okay, just about right. I think.
So come out by here now and we'll swap over the chair.
All right, so I come up with you, right? Okay. Right, good afternoon, everybody. As the saying goes, some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Wasn't that great a thrust, but I mixed my metaphors. I limped over the line there. Whatever the voting figures, whoever sits in this chair, it's a huge honour to serve as chair of this wonderful county. I'll be brief, but I really must thank Sue McConnell, previous chairs, and indeed chairs of scrutiny committees for all that I've been able to learn from them, and hopefully that's been enough so that I won't have to spend too long turning to my right with a look of puzzlement or even panic on my face. Basically, some announcements really. My chaplain will be the Reverend Julie Hubbard, who's a team vicar in the Netherwent ministry team, closely associated with St Mary's Church in my ward of Roggett. My charity, the charity called Little Troopers, is a UK-wide but very small charity that works to help military children dealing with the problems that they face. I've come across them in my role as Armed Forces Champion, where they work closely with supporting service children in schools, Cymru. I urge you to Google them. They're called Little Troopers. And finally, my consort, and I'd like to say a few words about my consort, who will be Councillor Jackie Strong. Jackie got where she is today the hard way. As a child, as soon as she was more or less able to, she would be up at the crack of dawn delivering newspapers for her father's struggling delivery business. From the age of 13, she was a young carer after her mum suffered a serious stroke. After leaving a somewhat dysfunctional comprehensive school with just a clutch of CSEs at the age of 16, she worked her way up from being a cadet nurse to getting more nursing qualifications, and then on to move into social work, achieving a social work degree as a mature student while bringing up a young family, and from then on enjoying a successful career in various roles of social work, much of it here with Monmouthshire County Council. And perhaps her greatest achievement is of putting up with me for all these years, so that later in this year we can be celebrating our 50th wedding anniversary. So I'd like to ask Councillor, sorry, I'd like to, first of all, I have to present Sue McConnell. I'd like to present Sue McConnell with her past chair's badge and a bunch of flowers. But Jackie, if you'd like to come down and sit at the front, please. There we go. There we go. Right, another shake hands. Nice, just give the check, careful. That's lovely. Congratulations. Congratulations. This is strong. Put it together. That's it. Lovely, thanks so much. Right, item 4 on the agenda. I now call for nominations for the office of Vice Chair of the County Council for the civic year 2025 to 26.
I nominate Councillor Martin Grocott.
Right, Councillor Martin Grocott. Are there any other nominations?
I second Councillor Martin.
Sorry, my apologies. Yes, thank you for the second. Yeah, I'll get something right eventually. Other nominations?
Chair, may I nominate Councillor David Jones, please?
Right. Nomination for Councillor David Jones.
I'll second
Any
it.
more nominations? No, 2 nominations. Shall we vote on that then?
Sorry, Chair, Councillor Bryn was keen to second. Don't know
my
if you heard
apologies.
that.
Yes,
Sorry,
Councillor
Chair.
Bryn seconding. Thank you. Right. Okay, no other nominations. Can we put that to the vote, please?
A point of order, Chair.
Yeah.
Under Standing Order 27.27.4, I'd like a recorded vote.
Thank you. Can I see that you've got 9? Yeah, that looks like more than 9. Thank you. Right, just give us a moment then. So we have 2 nominations. Councillor Grocott and Councillor David Jones.
Thank you, Chair. Councillor Bond, please.
Councillor Martin Grocott.
Councillor Brocklesby.
Councillor Martin Grocott.
Councillor Bromfield.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Brown.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Bryn.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Buckler.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Birch.
Councillor Martin Grocott.
Councillor Butler.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Callard.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Chandler.
Councillor Martin Grocott.
Councillor Crook.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Davis.
Jones.
Councillor Dimmock.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Easton.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Edwards.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Newell.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Garrett.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Garrick.
Grocott.
Councillor Griffiths.
Grocott.
Councillor Grocott.
Grocott.
Councillor Howarth.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Howells.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor John.
Councillor David Jones.
Sorry, can I just... Councillor Howells, can you just repeat yours, please?
Councillor Grocott.
Thank you. Councillor David Jones.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Penny Jones.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Keir.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Lane.
Councillor David Jones.
Councillor Lucas.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Maybe.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor McConnell.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor McKenna.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Murphy.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Neal.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Pavia.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Powell.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Riley.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Rook.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Sandals.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Stevens.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Jackie Strong. Councillor Peter Strong.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Taylor.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Thomas.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Watts.
Councillor Grocott.
Councillor Webb.
Councillor Jones.
Councillor Wright.
Councillor Grocott.
Thank you.
Right, the result of the vote is for Councillor Grocott, 23 votes, and for Councillor David Jones, also 23 votes. Accordingly, I will use my casting vote for Councillor Grocott. I now invite Councillor Grocott to read and sign the Declaration of Acceptance of Office. Is this on? Okay, yeah, just use your microphone there.
I, Martin Grocott, having been elected to the office of Vice Chair of Monmouthshire County Council, declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to observe the code for the time being as to the conduct which is expected of members of Monmouthshire County Council and which may be revised from time to time.
Go through there, we'll do the chain. Congratulations. Wonderful, thank you. Excellent. Thank you.
The Chair tells me I now have a chance for a brief word. There's a first time for everything. It is obviously a tremendous honour. I have spent a lifetime in education, as you know, and worked in 3 continents in the world of education. This is a step further, and I proclaim myself a total novice in the political world at this level. But let me promise you one thing, and that is that I will do my very best to ensure that the people of Monmouthshire get the best governance that they can. Thank you. And I think I also have to say something about my consort is the word I'm looking for. My consort is going to be Maggie Harris, that great political family of Monmouthshire, the Harrises. As Roger leaves, his wife Maggie steps in. But today I am being supported by Chris Holland, a colleague of mine from Abergavenny Town Council, who handed over his chain as mayor last night. So one is tempted to say a fan of bondage, but I wouldn't dare to say anything like that from this elevated status. So from one chain of office to another chain of office, representing me as consort today is Chris Holland.
Thank you, Martin. I now invite the past chair's consort, Mr. Roger Harris, to present the consort's chain of office to my consort, Councillor Jackie Strong, together with a bouquet of flowers. Just bring it down. Thank you both. Okay. I now invite my consort, Councillor Jackie Strong, to present the past chair's consort, Mr. Roger Harris, with the past chair's consort dependent. No? I've got it wrong? I've jumped too far, have I? Number 19. Right, my apologies. Right. I now invite my consort, Councillor Jackie Strong, to present the Vice Chair's consort with a chain of office, together with a bouquet of flowers. Sorry. Right, item 20, right. 19, we've done 19. We're still on 19, right. Right. Okay, so Jackie, right, still 19. Jackie Strong to present the Vice Chair's consort with a chain of office together with a bouquet of flowers. Yes, oh, there we go, yes. Yes, all right. Yeah. Okay, all done? Yeah. Right. Thank you, everybody. Now, before we move into the recess, there is one last duty to perform here. It was mentioned earlier in the session that Linda Greer, PA to the leader and the chair, is retiring in June after 20 years service with his council. I must admit I was a bit distressed when I heard that Linda was retiring, because I was hoping she'd be my mum for a year. But I'm sure she's trained Julia well, and Julia will step into her shoes admirably. If any single person can manage to do such a thing. I won't say any more, but I want to invite the group leaders, if they wish, to make any comments.
I actually don't know where to begin, because I'm going to be orphaned in about 3 weeks' time. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle it, but bear with me, Council. I'm quite good at controlling trauma. Linda has been a stalwart of the Monmouthshire County Council for 20 years. When I talk to staff and have talked to past leaders and past chairs, the absolute admiration, as well as love and fondness and awe at the capacity of Linda, who epitomises grace under fire, is speaks volumes, Linda. I am a Jenny come lately to the council, and I could not have managed without you. And you did it so seamlessly, and you were absolutely wonderful about ignoring the fact that I'd lose my keys, I'd forget where I was supposed to be going, I'd trip over the stairs. You just took over and made sure that I could do the best I could in my job. And you did that for everyone, all the chairs, all the leaders, in a selflessness that you don't often see in people who call it just a job. It wasn't for you. I think it was a vocation. And I know, because we've talked about it, that you're dying to retire. You've got loads of things set up. You're going to be travelling around the world, transforming your garden, spending much more time with your family. But I also know it's a moment of deep, deep sadness to you, because you're not leaving a job, you're leaving a family. And if I feel orphaned, I expect you feel like you've sent all your children to a children's home. And you're going off into the sunset. Personally, I can't thank you enough. But on behalf of the council, and behalf of absolutely everybody in the council, staff, officers, council members, our love, all our good wishes, all our good luck, and from the bottom of our heart, our gratitude goes with you. Thank you very much. I forgot because you're not here telling me. I was left to do this, so I'm just begging my pardon. Putting it in before everything else. It may not look beautiful, but it absolutely comes from the Labour group, and I know other groups will be doing the same. So on our behalf, to say thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Linda, do I get a hug?
Stand on signature.
Hug again.
Thank you, Lucas.
Oh, thank you, Vivian. Thank you.
Councillor John.
Thank you very much, Chair. And it's a privilege for me to be able to stand up here and say a few words about Linda. I'm also one of the 4, I think, council leaders that you've worked with in your 20 years in Monmouthshire, and it has been a real privilege. I know that you started here in October 2005, but it was in 2006, a year later, when you became the PA to the leader and the chairman. And I think I'm right in saying that Councillor Strong must be round about your 20th chair that you've worked with in that time, and you have done a phenomenal job. From all the events that you've organised, and for some of us it often feels like we're swans, and it's you can see the legs, but you're just seamless and smooth over the top, and we just can't imagine how you ensure that these events roll so seamlessly. So thank you very much for everything you have done for all of us. I think back to the time when I was leader of this council, and we were mid-pandemic. We were trying to transition to a new way of working whereby we weren't often face-to-face here, and it was a really difficult time. It was a worrying time for many councillors and their families and the communities we represent. And the fact that you were there providing that support and guidance, I know I would not have been able to do my role without the support that you gave to me, and also to Matt Feekins, who was the chair at that time. But you think of so many of these community events that we go to as councillors, whether it's VE Day, whether it's annual church services, Gwent music events, you put so much effort into ensuring that those events go well, and often, I don't think we say often enough, thank you for what you do, because so many of the events that celebrate the wonderful people we have in this county, the contributions that volunteers make, those events wouldn't happen without your contribution. So we're really, really sorry to see you leave, but you go with our best wishes for the future. Please keep in touch. We're pleased to hear that you're still going to be working on elections. So when we're standing at those counts feeling really nervous, not knowing whether we've got a job tomorrow, we know that there will be a friendly face behind those counting tables. So we look forward to seeing you then. We know that you're going to remain part of the Monmouthshire family. We're desperately sorry to see you go. But having presented countless bouquets to people over so many years, we have something to present to you. And my glamorous assistant. So, on behalf of the Conservative group, Linda, thank you so much for everything you've done over so many years. Thank you.
I'm not used to this, am I?
Councillor Taylor?
Thank you, Chair. So I can't speak to Linda's efficiency in supporting chairs and the leader of the council. But what I can speak to is Linda's care and compassion and kindness. So as councillors, we often spend a lot of time in the company of fairly senior officers, senior officials in the council, decision makers. However, from my perspective, some of the people whose praises we don't really get to sing or don't get to speak to a great deal in this kind of environment in the chamber are those officers that make a real difference day to day. And I think that what really sets Linda apart is she is one of that, I have to say, sadly, increasingly rare breed of officer who really, really understands the role of an elected member and gives it the courtesy and the care that it requires, because it's a proxy for the communities that we all serve here together. So I am very sad to see Linda leave us, not least because it depletes that bank of officers who understand the role of an elected member as an advocate for their community, but also because she also plays that incredibly brilliant role of helping on all of these, auspicious occasions, which without people like Linda just simply wouldn't be able to happen. We've already heard that people can't really manage without you, Linda. So goodness knows what we'll be like. I'm sure we have plenty. I know we have plenty of officers that will be able to be stepping in, but it just does speak to the fact that what really matters is that care for one another and that kindness that I know that you show to all members here. So thank you, Linda, and I hope you have a very long and very happy retirement. Thank you.
And if I may just add my thanks as well. Again, when I first was elected and came here, didn't have so much direct contact with you, but I was always impressed by the efficiency and the organisation, the meticulous planning that went into the AGMs and the meetings. But certainly since joining the Cabinet and spending a lot more time on this corridor, I think what I've always been really impressed with is just that constant, at the end of the corridor, that warm smile, that welcome, that friendliness, but also whenever something needed to happen, that incredibly positive, can-do attitude that just inspired confidence and just meant you could just relax, think, okay, it's being taken care of. And I think that's the memory that I will take with me, and I hope you take with you many, many happy memories of those 20 years that you've been here, supporting such a variety of people, some more positive and friendly than others, perhaps, and many conflicts on the way. But really, I hope you have lots of memories to take with you. And as others have said, don't be a stranger, and look forward to seeing you at least on election night, if not before. So thank you very much. Cheers, and good luck with your retirement.
Thank you, Councillor. You won't be surprised to see there are some more flowers on their way, so just bear with us a moment. Right, thank you. I see Councillor Power wants to say a few words.
Yes, I've been luckier than most because I've had Linda looking after me twice. I was chairman twice, and the second time was, I didn't know until really the night before, and we had no county hall, either place, we were nomadic. But Linda was grand, she was marvellous, and I must say that I was very lucky to have had her looking after me twice, and I wish her every enjoyment in her retirement and in the future. Yeah. Thank you so much, Linda.
Right, thank you. Linda, I'm sure that all the councillors would have liked to say something, but you know how things are, and I'm sure they will take every opportunity to say their goodbyes to you between now and when you leave in June. It's certainly the case. It certainly won't be the same without you, I'm sure. So thank you so much for your time with us. There will now be a recess, and we will start again in just over half an hour's time at 3:30 for the rest of the agenda. Thank you very much, everybody.